My name is Jenny Sealey. I'm the arts director of a company, deaf and disabled-led theatre company called Grey Eye. And I've been working at Grey Eye now for 26 years, a long time. This year, for the first time in 31 years, I did acting again in a one-woman show called Self-Raising. And in the show, I talk about Miss Morrison.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I have to mention Miss Morrison. She's such an important person in my life. I first did ballet when I was 6, and I remember I didn't have the right costumes or the leotards or anything. I had a little red jumper on, everyone else was in blue, and I was in red and little tights. I felt really stupid. Then I became deaf when I was 7, and my mum thought I'd have to give up ballet. But we talked to Miss Morrison, and she said, why do you have to give up? I said, but I can't hear the music. Oh, that doesn't matter. Just follow the person in front. So that's what I did. So I was never at the front at the bar. I was always behind. But that's okay.
Did your parents want you to go to
I
dance
first
school?
came to ballet because my best friend's mum was taking her to ballet. I thought, I want to go. Mum, can I go? All right, then try it. See if you like it. And I did. I loved it. And actually, when I became deaf, as I grew older, I realised how much I did love it, because school was brutal. I couldn't read everything. I was having to teach myself how to be deaf. But ballet, coming here was, you know, didn't bother wearing my hearing aid, just follow the person in front and just get lost in my own sort of ballet bubble. You know, I didn't have to worry about anything. It was just gorgeous. I learned to live inside my body, hear the music, really begin. We spent a long time plonking away. So sometimes watched our hands, so I felt like I could own the music. It was amazing, and I think it saved me. And in my play, I say that ballet saved me from falling down the rabbit hole of chaos and confusion, and it did. I did a class on a Monday evening, then I did another class on Wednesday, the class on Friday. I had a private lesson at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I mean, my poor mum, we'd drive over to Bruford Road where Nora and Ted live, pick them up, drive them. I'd have my private lesson, then I'd go home, then I'd get the bus back in for a 1 o'clock afternoon class. I mean, I was here a lot. It was my life. And I remember some of my friends saying, Jenny, you know, how can you be our friend? You're never here. You're always at ballet. My 3 sisters all, well, I think they were more forced to come to ballet. Vicky stuck it out till she was 11 and didn't really like it. Jackie, again, similar, she's more of a swimmer than a ballerina. And Kate did it for a very short while. I was the only one that stuck it out. I did all my exams up to elementary, intermediate. But I wasn't very good at point work, really. And also, I like my food. A lot of dancers don't eat. I wasn't one of those. I was a dancer that ate. I did ballet with most called it modern. But it wasn't contemporary as we know it. It wasn't no Labour or Peter Bausch or all that sort of stuff. It was Miss Morrison's version of contemporary dance. I mean, when we did the competitions, we all had a ballet, we all had a character dance, we all had a national dance. Tap I was rubbish at, but I wish I'd stuck it out because it's really good for your brain. In terms of Alzheimer's and all that, it's so good. I did a Greek dance once with a great big sunflower. Oh, that was lovely. In my one-woman show, I reenact the nuns dance, and the costume was passed down through the girls. And I got the costume from Elaine Appleton, who was 2 years above me. So when I was old enough to do the nun dance, I got the costume. There was a lot of trading of costumes and buying of costumes off each other, and the older girls teaching the younger ones some of the routines. I mean, Miss Morrison had a repertoire of thousands of dancers for all of us for the competition, and Tess, her sister, made all the costumes. I mean, it was a phenomenal operation.
And did you perform in the shows? Did they have
The show? Oh, I love the shows. Yes, I love them. You know, but very rarely can I have a solo piece. But that was all right. But you know, we did so much rehearsal, and the organisation. I mean, it was a bit chaotic, but there was a discipline there, and it's moving on to becoming a performer and a director. You know, it made me who I am because it was about how you tell stories without any words. So she gave me a real sense, also because I'm deaf, that's heaven on earth, but she gave me a real sense of how the body can tell so many things and how to create pictures and narratives. So clever. Phoebe did all the music with more. I can remember some of the songs, which I'm not going to sing. I can't sing. But she and Phoebe would sit together and write the story. So we performed at the co-op in the House. Then we went to the Nottingham Playhouse. The last few shows I did, it was a Sunday afternoon and evening at the Playhouse.
So
That's
how long
exciting.
did you stay in the dance school?
I was there from the age of 6 to 18. So that's a long time. Then went off to Middlesex Poly and that was it. But it was Miss Morrison that she spearheaded my love of the arts, really, and theatre and dance and performing. And later becoming a director, sometimes she's there. I can see her with a beautiful auburn, huge hair, stick, prodders. Get the hook her legs, like, come on, higher, Johnny, come on. Or if you've got a leg like that, she'd put a little stick in there to move your hips out. Oh, she's tough, but so I still stand with my feet in first, and I think I've got good posture because of all those years of ballet. It has served me well. It was a useful tool to hold on to for her, looking like this terribly elegant always. And then she just has such grace, and she wanted us to be the best. She was driven in that way, and when you did she said, right, okay, let's do your solo, my private lesson, when she was choreographing me, and I'd do it. She would just go, well, Jenny, I think you could do better. So that feeling of being her disappointed face. Oh, you felt awful, but also you wanted to make it right. Can I do it again, please? You wanted to play, well, I wanted to please her. I've got so many favourite dancers, but the nuns one it's sort of ridiculous, really, in a silver habit, silky silver habit, and wimple, and then you rip the dress off, and you've got a pink dress underneath. So what's that saying? No, I think I was 15 or 16 when I did that. Not thinking about what it was about, but it was a dance of liberation as far as I was concerned. But what's that saying about the nuns? Maybe it was taken from Sound of Music or something like that, I don't know. I don't know what was going through her head. The thing with Miss Morrison that would drive me scatty is she knew that I couldn't hear the music. I could hear something, but couldn't not follow it in the same way that everyone else could. So all my dancers would always have a change of music, going from sad to happy or from none to not none. So I had to teach myself every single beat of the dance and never veer off it so that I was always on time for that change of music. I sort of hated her for doing that, but again, it's linked to a real lesson in self-discipline. All those things you realise much, much later. But my mum used to sit with me and tap the music out just so that I could get it into my skin. It was an interesting group of girls. Many of them, their names I can remember. There was a lot of competition, as you would find in a dance school. A lot of competition with the mothers. My mum stayed out of that pretty much. There's also a lot of anorexia. Certainly as some of the girls were moving on to wanted to go to Royal Academy or the Place or, sort of the major ballets, ballet rumba. I just do remember Elaine Appleton coming in every single day, practicing with the plastic pants trying to make her sweat, to make her lose weight. Oh, yeah, I think she did get into rumba and become, the ballerina that she wanted to become. I mean, I think that is the cost of so many dancers. At Middlesex Poly, we had a similar problem. But, I was the fat coke and the Cornish pasty lunchtime girl. I've been screwed, so, I'm not going to be a ballerina, so it's better that I went into directing.
So did you do performing arts at university?
Performing university? I mean, at Middlesex Poly, yeah. I mean, I was on a BA Performing Arts course, so we did a lot of performance, a lot of choreography, which I loved doing. Again, channeling Nora Morrison, thinking about how she would do it and trying to. I think at Middlesex I realised that Nora's version of contemporary dance was very, very sweet, very twee, a little bit, naive really. Whereas contemporary dance, bigger and that was a real learning. It did make me laugh. But Middlesex was just so much performance, directing, acting. I had to do music. We had to do everything. Stage management. It was a really good comprehensive course. But because my body was changing and and not small up top, I wanted to try and do the acting course, but they wouldn't let me. But thank God, I'd done enough dance that they let me do major in dance rather than acting. And I'm glad I did, actually. I kept in some contact with Miss Morrison, meet her in town for a cup of tea, but then, I stayed in London more than I was coming home, so when I came home it was just to see family. And I do feel bad about that. There was a reunion that I came to years and years and years and years ago. But we used to go to some of the girls were privileged and we would be invited round to our house and meet Violet, who's the third sister. And they had all these beautiful porcelain dolls everywhere. And were worth huge amounts of money, I would imagine. Slightly spooky. Especially the ones that smiled and had teeth and eyes that moved. My granny made some of my costumes. My mum was not a seamstress, like, at all. Mum's role really was chauffeuring. She would take me and my friend Carol Donaldson to competitions. Oh my God, we used to go to Skegness competition in the pavilion. And years later, when I was very pregnant, I just definitely needed to see the sea. So we drove out to the sea and I thought, I'm going to show you the pavilion where I did all my dancing, where I won my first ever gold medal. It's an amazing building. It's like a shed. It's not very nice at all. And the carpet's just full of bag butts and burns. But when you're that age, I thought it was amazing. And I so remember when I got my first gold for ballet, the adjudicator calls out the number. Of course I didn't hear. And I'm just standing there, like all the other girls were all smiling. And they're going. And then my mum had to come down and say, Danny, it's you. come first. I'm like, oh my God. Kirsty, oh my God. It's so lovely. I think she treated us all equally. But when she sputtered, I remember lovely dance school Karen G. She was quite driven. She really wanted to go to Royal Ballet School. So Miss Morrison would not single her out, but make sure that she could push her and challenge her because she wanted to be. But sometimes when a teacher is investing in one student, you can either choose to feel left out or think, okay, well, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to learn from this. Never going to be dancing like her, but I could try. And I think Miss Morrison liked people that invested in dancing. That's my memory of her, really. She didn't have time for people who sat around and giggled. And Vicky, my sister, and her best friend Tina Podansky, they would giggle a lot and they would get thrown out of classes. So she didn't suffer fools very well. Test around the office. So go up the big stairs at the blind stand, to go up the big concrete stairs. Straight ahead of you was the office. That side was the junior type changing room. That side was a bit more senior changing. Classroom there, classroom there. Tess would be in the office and there'd be sweets. Terrible, really. Blackjacks, fruit salads, the chocolates. And then when it was competition time or show time, that room was just changed into a sewing room. And we'd go for fittings and measure you. It was like, oh. Tess was cruel, not cruel in a horrible way, but we were all quite scared of Tess. I mean, she ran it, really. She kept the books, kept everything together to allow Miss Morrison to be the artist that she was, I think. I was part of the group of people that had to write a letter of support, really, and why this person should get their MBE. She should have been made a dame. She really should be a dame. Nora Morrison. Mr. Hurd did all the music. He would record BB Gift, play my solo ballet music, record it on a cassette. My mum would record it so I could practice this at home. And then at the ballet competition, in the wings or just just near the stage, was always a friendly face of Mr. Hurd. Pressing the music. I mean, can you just realise technology now? But back then, it was on reel to reel, on the stage, press. So always I said to Jack, you need to give me a big cue to let me know the music started. Gosh, it's taken me right back to all of those systems we had to have in place.
Do you remember who played the piano?
Who played? We began, that's, she was phenomenal.
We've still got the piano.
Awesome.
Is that the old piano from the old days? Wow.
We retuned it.
There's a few things that I constantly think about, is how much driving my mum did with me to all this ballet competition. I was always so mindful of how much it was costing. My frocks and my shoes and sewing the ribbon and then sewing at the top of the point shoes, having to darn them so you create an extra layer so they don't wear. All of that was a massive part of my world. And I remember saying to my mum, I will pay you back one day. And I think the payback has been that I made performing my whole life. So it was all worth something, if you know what I mean. And I tried to take my son to Irish dancing. I loved it, he hosted, so that didn't last very long. He didn't want to do ballet. And I think because the government are stripping away the arts from the curriculum. And it's so unfair. There's so much joy to be had, there's so much learning to be had about your body through moving. whether it's dance, it's contemporary, whether it's just interpretive dance or whatever it is, we are taking that away from our children. And where's the next generation of Margot Fontaines? We need, everyone should have the opportunity to try it, just see whether they like it. It can lead on to many, many other things. I think everyone should do some dancing in their life, and I think it needs to be in the curriculum, and we need the next generation of Margot Fontaines and all the rest of it, and we need to tell, within the educational system, there's so much that could be learned just through doing dancing. When you move your arms, what's happening to a vertebra, what's happening to a breathing. It's scientific. It's creative, it's artistic, it's scientific, it's about breathing, it's about physiology, biology, it's everything. Why can we not teach something like that that's really intersectional and cross-curricular? And then if someone, it ignites someone and there's a spark, then enable them to carry on doing it. Or if it doesn't, they will have learnt something. But give them the opportunity in the first instance, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still do a ballet lesson every Wednesday morning. It's on Zoom, so the dance teacher can't actually that I'm not jumping up and down. I'm just going like that because it's too big, and then it would hurt, and I don't like jumping. But I can still do my pliés, I can still do the splits, and I love it. And I do it with a friend. It's just the three of us. And she's a good teacher. And she used to be a ballerina. You're never too old to come to ballet. You might not be able to get all the way down, but that's what I found for. To hold on with your dear life. You know, if you've got your teacher's 90 and you're 9, and you're looking at her, oh my God, she's really old and could do it. I must be able to try and do it. Do you know what I mean? There's something quite extraordinary. But dance teachers do tend to, they can go on for a long time because it's an absolute vocation.